Welcome to another episode of Base, Body, and Beyond, where we look at a particular model or unit in depth. Today we shine the spotlight on a mostly underused unit, the Revenant Crew of the Atramentous. Starting with the overall look of the models, it's hard not to like these guys. I mean, really, they're undead pirates. They're so cool, in fact, that Heroscapers.com actually uses the Revenant Crew on their own homemade version of the Flying Dutchman models. Some people, however, think the sculpts of the Revenant Crew look a little cartoony, and even I admit that I call the diving helmet guy Scooby-Doo from time to time. In all, I think it's up to the painter to decide how serious they should or should not look. Personally, I went with brighter colors for a more whimsical effect, but others have gone the opposite direction for some strikingly fearful miniatures. As for the Revenant Crew in-game, they are usually passed over in favor of either cheap Mechanothralls or powerful Banes. That's not to say they aren't useful, you're just not going to see them in many tournament lists. They have subpar combat stats, but they do help to make up for it with their speed, their having 2 attacks in melee, the gang ability, and the ability to come back as long as their quartermaster isn't killed. Smart players will look for ways to keep him safe. Common strategies involve using Gorman DeWolf's smoke or a large base model to screen him from enemy attacks. The Revenant Crew in all could be a great tar pit unit, useful for trapping a couple of small jacks while still annoying the enemy with a few extra models. Bad placement for the Revenant Crew, however, can be very unforgiving, so you need to keep in mind exactly what their job is in the current game and focus on it. As already mentioned, the crew's ability to come back make them difficult to deal with, though they aren't immortal. AoEs or spells like Eruption of Spines can decimate their ranks, and smart opponents will work on picking apart the unit in chunks, killing a few grunts, and then the quartermaster to ensure losses. Fortunately, they are enough of a threat to your opponent that they should have to spend resources killing them or face having a section of their army tied up almost indefinitely. It should also be noted that with such a horrible rat, they really shouldn't be shooting in almost any situation, though it does happen from time to time. Like most units, the Revenant Crew enjoy buff spells, and they make a good candidate for spells like Scything Touch or Soul Harvester. If you enjoy the Revenants and have the points available, they now have access to Rifleman unit attachments. The Riflemen aren't terribly good, to be honest, but they add bodies to the crew, as well as give you some long-range, low-powered shots which maybe could be useful for taking out a solo. In addition, fielding Captain Rengrave gives the crew a small attack buff and has the off chance of netting you an extra crewman when the captain kills living models. One should also note that the Revenant Crew are featured prominently in Lichlord Terminus's theme list, should you be interested. His tiers lower their point cost and give them a speed boost on the first turn. And if you're fielding Blackbane's Raiders, most of your army becomes incorporeal for the first turn to boot. So in all, the Revenant Crew makes for a flavorful tar pit unit that the opponent cannot readily ignore without consequence. Thank you for watching this episode of Base, Body, and Beyond. I hope you enjoyed it. And please remember to subscribe, like, or comment. We do enjoy your feedback. Thank you again, and we'll have some more battle reports and other videos on the way.